Hello Star Citizens, Buzzkiller here, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll talk about my recommended bindings for Alpha 3.13. Before we get into the binding changes for Alpha 3.13, I'd like to share some big news. I've decided to branch out into HOTAS bindings in order to help a broader range of Star Citizens. In the past, I've only supported the dual T16000Ms, the dual Virpal Alphas, and the dual Virpal Deltas. For Alpha 3.13, however, I've expanded my support to the popular T16000M FCS HOTAS combination, as well as a Virpal HOTAS, utilizing the Virpal Alpha and the Virpal Mongoose CM3 throttle. I've also partnered with the streamer/YouTuber Subliminal in order to bring you bindings for the often requested dual VKB Gladiator Pros. Obviously, I don't own these sticks, so I really can't help you out too much with this profile, but if you check out Subliminal's channel and his Discord, he has an entire section dedicated to these bindings. Links in the description below. As you can probably guess, supporting so many different binding configurations is quite a bit of work. So in order to lighten up the load a bit, I've actually discontinued support for the dual Virpal Delta sticks. This decision was made after a decided lack of interest in that profile during a poll I posted a few weeks back on this channel. With that out of the way, let's get into the binding changes for the new patch. For Alpha 3.13, CIG has added 3 new bindings, all of which are for the new docking system. There's a new binding for requesting docking, auto docking, and docking view. The first new binding, request docking, is used for, well, you probably guessed it, requesting to dock. This works by targeting the ship or station to which you wish to dock. Right now this only works with the Constellation and its snub fighters, and then pressing the button. The same button is also used to undock. To make things simple, I've added this function to the same button as the landing gear on all my supported profiles. The second function is auto dock, and as the name suggests, this automates the docking process. After requesting docking, you press and hold this button to automatically dock. I've added this function to the landing gear button on my profiles as well. The final new binding is the docking view. This gives you a first-person view from the perspective of your ship's docking port. Right now, for the Merlin and the Archimedes, it's simply a view looking straight up to make manually aligning to the Constellation's docking bay a little bit easier. This is not a critical binding, so I've only added it to profiles with sufficient room, such as the dual Virpal Alphas. The final change for 3.13 that affects bindings is the new user folder path. For some reason, CIG has decided to bury user configuration files even further into the user folder. The new path, starting from your install directory, is Robert Space Industries, Star Citizen, Live or PTU depending on which version you are trying to edit, User, Client, 0, Controls, and Mappings. It's here that you'll have to place my exported bindings in order for them to show up in your in-game binding menu. And that pretty much wraps up the binding changes for Alpha 3.13. If you're a returning user of my profiles, make sure to download the new bindings from my Dropbox, link in the description below. For Virpal Alpha users, also make sure to update your JoyToKey profile, as it has changed for the new 3.13 bindings. For newcomers, make sure to check out my video tutorials on how to import my bindings. I'll be updating them soon to reflect the changes to the user folder, but for now you can find the old videos in my Joystick Setup Series playlist. As always, if you have any problems, make sure to check the README and troubleshooting guide in the Dropbox folder. If you still can't get everything to work, or if you find other issues that need my attention, feel free to leave a comment in this video and I'll answer as soon as I am able. Until next time, this has been Buzzkiller, and I'll see you in the verse.